Hello, everyone. I'm Belle and I'm back. Welcome back to my channel. In this video, we're going to continue to discuss children with autism, but I would like to give you some everyday tips that might help with situations such as leaving the house stress free, and how to navigate maybe in a public mall or store. So hopefully this my insight of having been a child with autism and having been a parent that raised children with autism, I'm hoping that this can make life a little bit easier on you, the parent, as well, of course, the child. So with that, let's get into the first scenario. Getting ready to leave the house. This can be one of the most daunting and stressful everyday activities that parents and children have to deal with as a whole, but especially if you have autism, whether it's for school or going to an appointment, or just like visiting a friend's house, getting out the door, even if it's something that they're looking forward to, but especially if they're not looking forward to going, it can be pretty daunting. So, here are some tips. Tip number one: create a visual schedule using pictures or icons to represent each step of the routine can provide a clear structure and reduce anxiety. For instance, if you can post pictures, tape it, or however you can like situate it on the wall or a mirror that would have brushing teeth, and then one for getting dressed, one for putting on your shoes, one for meeting in the hallway or at the front door. Um, and then maybe sometimes underneath it, 8:15, 8:30, any kind of little guides that your child, as you know your child. So whatever you think is a good, maybe cereal, and then grab your plush to get out the door, or whatever that they need and that they cannot leave the house without, have that on the schedule also, so that they know to bag it, have it ready, have it handy, have it sitting on the bed in a certain order, so that they can grab it to go out the door. Um, just basically having helped them to be prepared. And then this becomes a ritual or a system that is a go to for them to depend on, to do, to get out of the door, to go to any appointment or to go to school. It's something they can depend, rely on to help them, because they're often looking for some kind of system or some kind of thing that they can rely on. They don't want to be caught being late or holding up everyone else. Is stressful for them also. Um, okay, tip number two: allow extra time. Start the routine earlier to avoid rushing. Extra time can help reduce stress and prevent meltdowns. And I know that can be difficult, especially if you are yourself naturally last minute, or you like to fit a lot of things in your time and you think you can manage a lot, within an hour before you're leaving out the door. I'm just going to ask you to meet them where they are, to prioritize that they need you to be calm and ready and prepared, so that it can be stress less for them too, or less stressful for them as well. So the more prepared and calm you are, the more that they will be in a situation of peace, in an environment that's more harmonious, and they can pick up on that vibe also, that everything is okay. There's no reason to feel panicked, because stress is really an issue for children with autism. The more they feel that you're rushing them, the more they will feel like a deer in headlights and just freeze. So it's not going to help you, because you're not going to get out of the door any faster. You're not going to have a less dramatic experience by pressuring them, by mentioning how much time is there, you're losing. That kind of situation just is just setting you up for misery for yourself and misery for your child. So it is better for you to just be prepared, have that plan, and also have that space and time where you can just be calm. You're not rushing around. They're not picking up on your energy. You're prepared, and they're also having a system to rely on to be prepared. And give yourself a buffer. If you know that you should leave the house at 8:30 so that you can get there in time, make that in your mind, okay, 8:15 or maybe even 8 o'clock. It doesn't hurt to have that extra time. Um, so yeah, that's the most important thing to me, I would say, is to allow extra time so that they don't feel pressured. Tip number three, use calming techniques and teach them to use time. You both need it. So this tip is for them, but I would say that you need it as well. Deep breathing. It works wonders. I was not a fan of the whole deep breathing meditation. I didn't think it would work. It works. It works. It works. It works. Just try it. If you don't believe me, try it, and you'll see. It calms your heart rate. It calms your system and your mind. Everything just can relax, and you can focus better. So, deep breathing exercises or listening to calming music can help you create a peaceful environment. Maybe in the background, you're playing some classical music on a low level. Um, just something to set the, again, energy is everything, especially for children with autism. Vibrations, we pick up on that so much more, I think, than regular, well, than people without autism. So if you can just set that tone, they'll be happier, you'll be happier. Let's see, where was I? Oh, and with the breathing exercises, I'll give you one technique that I think is simple for you to pick up on and use if you don't already. Most people already have their meditation technique, but some people don't. So for those of you who don't know, what you can do is just breathe in slowly through your nose, hold it for a few seconds, and then exhale slowly through your mouth. So it's kind of like this. It's giving yourself a treat. It really is. No matter where you are, um, no matter what you're doing, if you're at work, if you're on a bus coming home, if you're in traffic, if you just had an argument with your best friend or your spouse, it works wonders for you to just take a few seconds and deep breathe. It changes everything. So let's see. Scenario number two, moving on. Dealing with sensory overload. Many children with autism experience sensory overload in public places. Here are some tips to manage sensory input. And I know with autism across the board, there's a spectrum, and they call it a spectrum for a reason. Some people, you know, they need more, the louder the better. And some people, a pin drop is too much. So, your child, once again, whatever I'm telling you, kind of like try to fit it or mold it into how you can use it. But the tip number one, carry sensory tools like noise canceling headphones, fidget toys, or sunglasses. Sunglasses, I think, is something that maybe most people don't realize, but it works wonders because if you have a child that cannot tolerate or doesn't like eye contact, having on the sunglasses alleviates that expectation of looking in the eye. And not only that, no one knows that you're not looking in that. You could be looking and facing that way, and your eyes can be over there, and that's just like your own little, I don't want to say secret, but it's just a way for them to mask that, and kind of keep it private for them to feel more comfortable that they don't want to meet someone else's gaze. So I think that that is really important. Let's see. Yeah, so those what did I say? Noise canceling headphones. Yeah, we know what that's for. Blocking out noise, fidget toys, sunglasses, and I would add a plush because I know that for my kids, the plush was really, really good for them to even like squeeze or any kind of thing that you can compress or squeeze. But I think a plush is good because they kind of build that affection, kind of like a friend with them that they can ease their anxiety with at all times. So a plush, a doll, or something like that would be good for them. In so many ways, I think it addresses uh, sensory needs. Tip number two, identify quiet zones. Now, this advice is, I'm going to add a little something to what I think about this, so take it with a grain of salt. But find or create a quiet area in a public space where your child can take a break. For example, you can designate a quiet room at home or find a secluded corner in a store. Now, with the secluded corner in the store, autistic children sometimes like to, or not like to, but they will may wander. So I would not put them in a secluded corner of a store and then just walk off and look at your blouses. And no, 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 no. You want someone else, hopefully, that can shop with you and keep their eye on little Johnny or Rebecca, or while they're in that quiet corner. Um, it may you may not always be able to have someone go to the store with you, or maybe you have a friend that goes to the store with you, but they've got their own shopping to do as well. I would say just keep your trips, when you take your child, if you can limit the time you're in the store, that would be easier for both of you. Like not a long, drawn out shopping trip. If you need to do that, I would leave them with someone at home or at a friend's house, or someone come along and keep keep an eye on them while they're in their quiet space, because there is a lot of sensory overload in stores. There's too much busyness going on, noises, smells, lights. It's really a lot. So and again, you have to meet them where they are. That's what this is about, trying to make life better for them, and in turn, it makes life better for you. So let's see. We had scenario number three. I'm so sorry. Tip number three for scenario number two: practice grounding techniques. Grounding exercises such as focusing on physical sensations or holding a familiar object, like the plush, can help manage sensory overload. Let's try a simple grounding technique. Find a comfortable position, focus on your breath, and notice how your feet feel on the ground. Now your attention is on your feet and how they feel against the ground. If you can teach your child to do this, it takes them out of their head and being overwhelmed and being anxious, and they're just in their feet at that moment. You might even want to say, like, how does the carpet feel under your toes? When you wiggle them, which one wiggles first? So, anything to get them present in what they're doing at that time, and taking them out of maybe a lot of chaos in their mind. And this will work for you as well. It helps a lot, just like with the deep breathing exercise. So now we're in the third scenario: managing transitions. Transitions can be challenging for children with autism. Here are some strategies to help manage transitions smoothly. And this is kind of akin to the getting out of the door. Um, you want to provide advance notice, use verbal or visual warnings to signal upcoming transitions. This helps children prepare mentally for the change. It could be a transition from, okay, we just finished watching a movie, family movie night, and now it's time for us to transition into wind down time, taking a bath, going to bed, or, find your way to kind of soften or transition that from time to time, moment to moment. Um, Another overlooked or transition that I can think of when I was younger, and for my kids, I saw them go through it. It's holidays. There's a lot of pomp and circumstance and excitement around Christmas or Thanksgiving. And then the day after, or even the evening of Christmas, it's kind of like you feel a little bit of decline emotionally because all that excitement. It's like, where do you do now? We've opened the gifts. Santa already came and left. What are we going to do with all of what we were feeling for like the last month? And now we don't have anything like huge, promising, uplifting, like that. And what I would say is transitioning out of that for me was looking forward to the next thing. Like maybe someone's birthday's coming up. So we just switched our focus to that. Um, maybe you can make it a special family thing where, okay, it's an after Christmas week where we do a special, it doesn't have to involve money or buying anything for anyone, but just doing something sweet or special. You have no idea is coming to you, and that you have a surprise to go to that other family member. So it's just basically anticipation, something special to look forward to. That will be, very helpful for children and prevent them from going into like some kind of depression or um, maybe a feeling where they don't understand. A lot of kids don't understand, why am I down? I got everything I wanted, or maybe they didn't get everything you wanted, but we had a good day, the lights were beautiful, riding around, seeing, I had a good season. So what's going on? They don't know it's the transitioning that's affecting them. So let's see what else. Um, Use transition objects. A favorite toy or item can provide comfort and a sense of continuity during transitions. For example, carrying a favorite stuffed animal can make moving from one activity to another easier. Yeah, it's something about those plushes. They just hold on to them, and you know, it gets them through the day. It really does. Let's see. Tip number 3: offer choices. This is huge. Allow your child to choose between two activities. Giving them a sense of control can make transitions smoother and more manageable. Um, yeah, like for instance, everyone wants to feel empowered and respected. That doesn't stop with age. Whether you're elderly or whether you're a child, we all want to, we're important. We all are important. And their voice matters. What they want matters. It's time for a different mindset where the parent is the one that dictates everything. You know, it's a community household. Children get a say. I firmly believe in that. They do, you know. So it's like, yeah, this weekend's coming up. Instead of, okay, we're going to go and visit so and so, and then after, what do you feel like doing? I want to go and visit Janie, and you can spend time with her kids. But let's say Sunday, what do you want to do? We'll do what you want to do. That's fair. So, yeah, give them choices. And if if there's times when you can't, you just can't. Like that's life. Like, where I'm sorry, but I'll make it up to you, kind of like situations. We get that, but for the most part, try to give them empowerment. It's going to help them remain confident and expect to be respected throughout life. You don't want them to go out into the world and they expect that, well, everything choice is made for me. I don't really have an input. I'll just follow and go along. No, 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 no. That's not the world we're going to create for our children. So, yeah, those are my tips so far. I'll try to get some more to you guys. In fact, if you know, if I, depending, I'm very new. So if I get a comment, I'll read it and then I'll come back with a tip for you if you ask a question. Or maybe you have tips for the community. You know, let us know. Oh, this is what I do to get my son out the door. This is how I wind my daughter down at night. Or, hey, do you have this situation? And I'm sure that other people will fill in, or I'll give you an answer. Because I don't know everything. I'm going to keep saying that every video. I'm walking along with you. I'm hoping to get input from you and feed off of you guys and you guys feed off of me, and all in love. That's the only thing I ask is please, amongst each other, love. To me, love. From me to you, love. To your children, from me, love. That's all I'm asking. That is really the most important thing. If you come from that base, you can't fail. Not at parenting, not at anything in life. You really can't. It's when we move away from love that we start getting, tripped up and not being our best. So thank you for watching. And I hope you find the tips helpful. I hope your children will find them helpful as well. See what works for you, see what works for them, um, and let me know how everything worked out and if you have any suggestions. So, with that, I'm going to say goodbye and I will see you next video. Thank you for being here.